All right, if you hear me getting excited during this video, it's because I see so many spreadsheets and I see so many errors on spreadsheets, and I see formulas that have been overwritten and all sorts of stuff that should not be happening. And it's a very easy fix, and that fix is to lock the cells that you don't want people fiddling with and to unlock the cells where you do want people putting in data. Now, if you've had a look at the PDF book that I give away or heard me speak about anything else, you'll probably know that my design and layout is quite different. So I tend to separate the locked cells from the unlocked cells and put the unlocked stuff together and color coordinate the header and all sorts of other stuff. So I'm not going to go into all of that again, but what I will say is you need to unlock the lock cells and lock the ones that shouldn't be messed with. So what I'm going to do in this situation, I want to unlock, let's just say I want to unlock the bottom row of that green header, and that's if I want to put filters in, for example. So I want to unlock that. That's where they must type in the data, but everything else is locked. So in a real world scenario, there would be all sorts of formulas in these cells here that you don't want people messing with. All you want to do is unlock that. So how do you do that? It gets a little bit confusing because what you're actually doing is you're actually locking down the worksheet, but then you're giving permission for certain cells to be unlocked. So you're not necessarily locking certain cells. Think of it the other way around. Think of it that you're locking everything, but you're giving permission for those that can be unlocked. So the first thing you do is you click right at the top here on the left, because that basically just selects all the cells. And if you right click and you say format cells, and you go to format cells, and you go to protection. What it does is that by default a new spreadsheet would usually be locked, but it won't be hidden. So what hidden means is, will it show the formula in the top in the formula bar here when you actually select a cell? So I normally have mine as hidden because I don't want, well, if people start looking at those formulas, it doesn't really matter, but it just confuses them because a lot of the stuff's off the screen anyway that they can't see. So I hide the formulas and it's locked. So default, when I lock this workbook, all the cells are going to be locked and all the cells are going to be hidden. So start off with that as a default position. So now if I went to review and I went to protect and I put in a password and I said yes, then you would come here and you couldn't change any of these cells. Everything is locked. But I want people to be able to enter that, nothing else. So how do I do that? Well, unprotect, I go back to that section, right click, format cells, back to protection, unlocked, unhidden, okay. And then I go back to my protect, put the password in. Please don't forget that password. It's very, very difficult to break into a spreadsheet now. So you really want to make sure you've got that password. And now I can't change that, but I can change this. And that's really what you want to be doing. And if you do this properly for each spreadsheet, they can't override formulated cells and things like that. That's why I put all of the cells together where you update with data entry. What a lot of people do is they'll put one data entry, one formulated, one data entry, one formulated, and then it just becomes disjointed and people don't know where they should be typing in. What I normally do is separate them, give it a color-coded header. So if there were formulated cells over here, for example, what I would actually do is I'd give it a different color header. And then from that point of view, these cells here will be formulated, and you can, as soon as you open the spreadsheet, you can see enter the green, leave the red, or whichever way around it is. And it's easy to be able to tell. There's one last thing. If I were to put a filter in here, for example, just put a filter in there. Now I want to lock it. Just remember that when you do go to your review and protect, you do have some options here. So this is essentially allowing people to do certain things. So by default, it's usually you can select lock cells. It doesn't mean you can edit them, but you can click on them, which is fine. Some people remove that so that you can't even click on them. Select unlock cells, that's fair enough. So those two are by default ticked. Everything else is unchecked. So you can go in and allow certain things. You can read through these yourself. Most of them make sense as to what you're doing. But for example, for that sorter and auto filter, you need to select use auto filter and sort, as things that you allow. And then when you lock it, then you can still come here and you can still use that auto filter. But again, you can't come and change any of the lock cells. So yeah, it's such a basic feature. And now I realize, obviously, some people unlock the spreadsheets to send them to me, but there are so many times I get people contact me saying that someone's overwritten a formula or whatever, because think about it. If you're busy and there's values down here and you look at it and you go, hang on, that's not right. What you should be doing is changing something over here in order to change that. But people see it and they go, that's not right. They change it over here. And then when someone else comes and changes this data, then this doesn't change because the formula has been lost and it's been overwritten. And that can cost, I've seen that type of mistake cost companies a lot of money. And you really don't want to be doing that. So make sure you put your unlock cells together, go through that process of unlocking them so that people can edit that and not fiddle with this. And even, I mean, people sometimes can be malicious and change formulas on purpose. That's one scenario. But even with the best intentions, even my own spreadsheets that I'm the only one that use, I still do it like this. I still lock it because it's so easy to override something, type over something by mistake and lose the formula. So I would have this as a default for all spreadsheets. So I really hope that that's helped you and yeah, can help you and save you from making some mistakes in the future. Thank you.